mimi nimeendesha nduthi. Hata niko na marks, nimeangusha vitu, nimeangusha na watu pia.
So ulikuwa nduthi guy?
I was a nduthi guy. I was a very handsome nduthi guy then. I did that then we did these normal jobs like kuna hizi kazi za kuchimba mitaro. We were working with some company ilikuwa inaitwa Sibo Water. Tulikuwa na chimba mitaro ya kuweka pipe za maji. You go to school barefooted and nobody cares, and you know those schools where you run for lunch, go get.
Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is M&W Show. I am your host Whitney, and together with my co-host, we have an amazing guest who is going to give us his story. And before we start, Martin, will you say something to the viewers?
Hello guys, hope you guys are doing well. Today we have our friend here, so we'll give him time to introduce himself.
Hello guys, my name is Aluma Moses, and alias Bakari. That's the name that is known. So in a nutshell, that's my name. Aluma Moses ni ile ya serikali. Alafu hii nyingine ndio watu wanatumia huko.
Moses Aluma Bakari.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. So Bakari, we like to know a lot of things about you. Let's start from your background life.
I have a lot of things to be known. If we start by background, what do you mean? High school, my young life?
Let's start with you know, when you were kids, you always have interesting stories, but you can't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell us a glimpse about your childhood life.
Now, I was born in the village, born and bred in the village. Not born and bred in the village. Actually, I was born in town, but bred in the village. I was born at the coast. That's where the name Bakari came from.
Okay.
And then at my young age, I went back to the village. My village is somewhere in Siaya County, a constituency called Rarieda. Yeah.
Oh, you are from, you and Tuju are from the same.
Yeah. We have very nice leaders. We have Tujus and the Utiende Amolos of this world.
Okay.
So I did my primary school in the village. That was a day school. After my primary school, I went to a high school that was, if it were today, they would call it an extra county. But it was a mixed school somewhere in Siaya.
Is it still there, bro?
Called, it's a school. It's a very nicely performing school. It's
So
called,
right now it's extra county.
Yeah, it's an extra county school. It's called Siaya Township.
Okay.
Yeah, I studied in a day school, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
So
from 1 to 4.
after I was done with my primary in the village, I had a school called Raham. I don't know whether it still exists, but I think it does because it's a government school. Then I passed actually, and I was to be admitted at Ambira High School.
Oh, Ambira
that's in Ugenya.
Ugunja, yeah.
But because of school fees and you understand these things, and because we were quite many, because I was raised in a polygamous kind of setting, I was not able to go to Ambira. So I joined a day school called Siaya Township. That was in the year 2008. And,
I'm a bit getting confused.
Okay.
You studied at Siaya Township in primary?
No, in secondary.
Oh.
My primary was in Rarieda. That is
Rarieda.
a school called Rahongo Primary School. Rahongo.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay. So the township is where you did your high school?
So township, that's where I did my high school.
Okay.
And finished my high school in 2011.
Bro,
Yeah.
are you that old, man?
Tumekanyanga miaka, but now what do we say?
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't look that.
Pesa. On a lighter note though. So I did my high school and 2011. Then by then we were not joining university immediately. I think that was the last year that people were transiting from high school direct to university. I took a whole year before
you joined.
I joined campus.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your high school and
so that is my high school and primary life, and of course in between there are some interesting facts.
Let me just ask you one question. What is the outshining, like the one interesting thing that happened in high school that you liked to share with us?
Of your childhood?
My childhood, the good thing about being a child in the village is that we are having a very, like, our life is as simple as everyone could tell, and we are very happy and content with that. I remember when you were like at the primary level, you go to school barefooted and nobody cares, and you know those schools where you run for lunch, go get lunch, then come back home. You get home, you're waiting, you are like hungry, you need to get back to school, and you find that there's a lock at the door. Unaangalia hapo kwa nini mahali hapo kwa naitwa Jemeko, unapata ni kadogi kamelala. Yes.
Unajua siku hizi, I'm so surprised. Okay, I'm not that old, but siku hizi nasikia watu tunakula mapilau lunch.
Yeah, for lunch.
Na sausage for breakfast. Nashangaa.
My friends,
tulisoma wapi?
I would literally get out of school for lunch, then nafika home and you find the only thing available ni ugali ya jana. What you do, unachukua ugali na unaweka chumvi kando. Like I literally ate ugali na chumvi and you go to school, and it wasn't a problem. It was all fun and that, and you still got time to play and laugh and have a family, and yeah. So it was interesting. They were not, alafu unajua ile time kids were for a whole community. Unakosa pigwa na kila mtu. So I just lived a little kind of childish life.
So in short, wewe umelelewa nyumbani.
Yeah.
You are man from
village.
Yeah, in short I'm a villager. In Nairobi nimekuja tu juzi.
Na unatusumbua?
Bro.
Okay, sawa Bakari. That's interesting. Yeah. So tell us more about your campus life.
So before I joined campus, I took there was an year.
The 1 year you spent
before I joined.
Okay.
It was my hustling moment.
When was this? That was
in between 2011 and 2012. I mean, because I joined in 2012. Towards the end. 2012 around August.
Okay.
So that was my moment of truth, because you know, after high school, what next? You find you are 6 or 7 in a family. You've passed, because by then I nilipita high school. I studied in a day school, but nilipita. So I got an nisema grade. Mtangalia grade kwa comment. Muulize nitaambia ama mkuje DM. Hata mimi niko. So after that I did some manual jobs, hizi kazi za mkono. Mimi nimeendesha nduthi. Hata niko na max, nimeangusha vitu, nimeangusha na watu pia.
So ulikuwa nduthi guy?
I was a nduthi guy. I was a very handsome nduthi guy then. I did that, then we did these normal jobs, like kuna hizi kazi za kuchimba mitaro. We were working with some company ilikuwa inaitwa Sibo Water. Tulikuwa na chimba mitaro ya kuweka pipe za maji. Mimi nimepalilia watu watafi. Ile kwa Kijaluo tunaitaga utongo. If you know that, hiyo ni lugha ya nyumbani. So like unapimiwa ka space, unapalilia, then itakuwa 50 bob.
You know the interesting part. I like the fact that Bakari is proud of himself doing this kind of jobs. You know, most of the guys will not mention this kind
of
jobs.
Mimi nimehustle my friend. Mimi hata nimejoin campus na suitcase ilikuwa na, the only things about ni zilikuwa blankets by day. Yeah, zilikuwa blanket hiyo time. Na bed sheets. Nilienda shule na hizo peke yake. I didn't know where to, ninaenda kulala wapi. Nilifika shule na 8,000. Hiyo 8,000 haikuwa ni fee. Hizo ni pesa nilikuwa nimekusanya because I really wanted to go to school. So hizo ni pesa nilikuwa nakusanya hizo wakati I was doing this job. So that when I joined campus.
Which campus?
MKU, that is in Thika.
Okay.
So there's a cousin of mine who was a student. He went earlier. And actually I think I'm the one who referred her to that school, but now she joined before I did. So when I did apply and got a chance, I didn't have money. I didn't have anything. The only thing I had was 8,000. These 8,000 had to cater for my transport to Thika. I've never been to Thika. I don't know anyone. The only person I knew was my cousin, who was also a student staying in a hostel. So this 8,000 was the statutory fee. I had not paid school fees. The statutory fee was just for the registration, getting an ID card and stuff like that. I had not known where I was going to sleep. Yeah, the interesting bit is that I slept in a ladies' hostel for like, I think a whole semester.
How was that possible?
Bro!
How?
That's a story for another day, but if you want me to tell you, I can briefly explain how it happened.
Okay.
When I joined campus, I knew my cousin. But now that the only money I had was 8,000. My cousin was staying in a hostel. So the hostel, if you've been to MKU, the ladies' hostel is a little bit distant from where men were sleeping.
Yeah, sure.
So because the money I had was depleted by the time I was joining.
Okay.
So I could not afford to pay for the hostel because the hostel was paid at I think around 5,000, and you're getting lunch, supper, and breakfast.
Okay.
So this is what I was doing. Because when you joined school, you were starting classes. You didn't necessarily have to pay
The fees.
Yeah. There was an element of you wait until some duration before
towards the exam.
Yeah, towards exam. So this is how I was surviving. My cousins, ladies in campus, they were not so much into the campus food.
Okay.
So square cabbage, wanaenda wanapakua cabbage hapo na milk cards, then they go wananiwekea. Then mimi nakuja later towards midnight.
Okay.
Nilikuwa naenda I had made a few friends. But with the men's hostel, the janitor was always walking around.
Okay.
If the hostel is supposed to be containing 6 people and you're 7, the entire group you'll pay for this other person for the entire semester.
Okay, so before we go, the ladies knew that you were sleeping there.
Yeah. The thing is, ladies, campus ladies, somebody pays for a hostel and they don't sleep there.
Okay, so
So my cousin had friends.
Okay.
The hostel was supposed to be carrying for six people, but there were 2 students. One had a boyfriend outside the school.
Okay. Now she used to spend.
Then the one bed was extra because no one was sleeping on that bed.
Okay.
So we sat down and I was like, mimi sijiwezi, I cannot afford. Siwezi lala kwa hostel za wanaume because mtapatwa. So what I was doing, I was waiting after everybody has slept, midnight. Nilikuwa nakaa tunapiga story. There's a place in MKU where you can just go and relax. It's in it's a kind of a pavilion.
Like a villa.
Yeah, a villa. Somebody can go and relax. So I would do that up to, and it gets to midnight. Naenda nakula ile chakula baridi ile walikuwa wamepakua because we could not even warm. They were not allowed to use kettles and all that.
Okay.
Naenda nakula hiyo sukuma na ama cabbage na ugali nini, then I sleep in their beds. Then the only thing I always ensured, because with ladies they were not as strict in terms of kuangalia nani amelala wapi,
because mostly it's so rare to get
yeah. So mimi nilikuwa najificha hapo, naenda nalala ikifika saa 10. Juu unajua wasichana alikuwa anaanza kuamka saa 11 wenye wanaenda early morning classes. So I get up then leave early in the morning. To the men's hostel, there's a guy that I had made friends with. The only thing I could not do is sleep because the hostel was packed.
The janitor was so strict.
Yes, so I could leave that early morning. I go back to where because they had kept my suitcase. I go take a shower, wait for the breakfast because breakfast was easy to get than lunch.
Okay.
You can go to what they were doing. Walikuwa wanaenda na jug kubwa wanajaza chai ndani.
Okay.
And then when they're doing snacks, then I wananigawia hapo tea. Then naenda class.
This story is so interesting.
Yes, so that's how I survived for the first semester until now. And actually all my life in campus, I never did exams with people. I was always doing special exams. Why? That's a story for another. I was always working to pay fee. Yes, so the money that was given to me by the parents in terms of for school fees was not even close to being enough.
So you had to work for it.
So, okay, Bakari, before to end this story, this story is really fun. You sleeping in this hostel. You did it for all semester.
All semester, yeah.
How could that school patikana?
I think it's God actually. There's a time, there's a day, I met the janitor when I was coming down because in MKU you could either decide to take stairs or spirals.
Okay.
So I was always taking spirals because I know it's a little steeper. The janitor could not use that spiral. Most of the time they were using the stairs. So that day I'm like coming down the spirals in the morning. It's cold. Then I'm like seeing. Then there's a security. There's always a security at the gate. But now this security was my home guy. Yeah, the security was. I just went and spoke to him in a language that he understands, and then we became friends. So he would let me pass.
So there's no single day you were dressed like a woman. Like the ladies.
No, I didn't.
You never thought of it?
No, I did. But I was always going there. Like somebody would go visit. Okay, there was a time you could be allowed to go see your girlfriend if you have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
until it was around that up to 10.
10, I guess it.
So so I was always like, and you know, I was always at ladies' hostel. Because of course, you know, I had to be close to them so that
for you to survive.
Yeah, and I made friends. The entire floor, in that entire floor, I made friends. I had thousands. Nilikuwa naingia hivi wananijua. Alafu for that first semester, I was trying to put my hands into things and get to know people.
Okay.
Then the only option I had now was to join politics to survive. So the second semester, as a fresher, I joined politics and I met my girl. Yes.
Oh. So just to ask you.
So my girl was also girling.
Before you take us there, this entire period, were you not being ashamed or what are these people seeing me sleeping in the
let me tell you, at times, you know, if you've lived from, if you've come from a hardship, the things you throw to the wind. I've done it all. Mimi nilikuwa nachimba mtaro and my crush anapita hapo akienda stokoni, alafu sasa at times nilikuwa naogopa na bakahudi hivi na jificha, but it gets to a point you're like it's work.
Yeah, because you have to do it.
Yeah, so because I was thirsty for education and that was the only if I lost that opportunity I would not be here today. So I decided to just do it. I wasn't okay. You know, in campus you meet different people. Pata comes and come light skin, fine. Then you feel like now anajua. But you know, with them they always they okay, their impression would be how will labda tu napendana na demu yake na so demu yake labda anapiga watu exile.
So they used to assume
mimi niko na dem hapo,
so you're sleeping at your bed.
So we are sharing a bed with my girl because that was a common in university. You could a lady would come, mko wanaume wa sita kwa nyumba anamejificha hapo tu chini na chali yake and they sleep hadi asubuhi.
It's like you did that.
I did, true. After getting my girl nilikuwa nafanya hivyo, but my girl alikuwa na at some point alimove kuishi nje.
So throughout this time, it's your interest for education that was pushing you.
Yeah, true. I just wanted to go to class, and it was so much demoralizing because you were in a class with people, and then because I was so good, you were very smart.
Okay.
So what was happening? Alafu I'm this type of person when I was not so much into the revisions and stuff. I go to class and I grasp it and that's it. So most of the time you'd find I had this clique of classmates who would time your exam, they would come for a discussion. So in the process of now helping them discuss, we were always that was my way of discussing. But you find they are discussing when they are going to do exams. I'm not going to because I'm not paid for it. So I have to wait to find an exam, go home, then come do specials.
Okay. Had you gotten to a point of giving up?
1,001 times. 1,001 times.
So what is this one thing that used to push you every time?
No one had stepped into university in our family.
Okay.
I was the first person, so I had to do it come what may.
Okay, that's interesting. Bro, your story is so touching.
Yeah.
Surviving in a ladies' hostel for a whole semester. Bro, after classes, people used to go.
My friend, mimi nimekula mtura. Yeah, mimi nimeinama lunch nilikuwa nakuja na kufanya.
So that's our way Bakari. So that was interesting.
Yeah.